Have you ever looked into the eyes of your pet and wondered if this love could really end? The day they leave, whether it is a gentle passing in old age or an unexpected loss, the silence that follows feels unbearable. A child holding the empty collar of a beloved dog, or an elderly woman reaching for the memory of a cat that once curled at her side, knows that this kind of grief cuts deep. It is not just the loss of an animal. It is the loss of a companion, a guardian, a soul that felt tied to yours. So the question becomes impossible to ignore. If our souls continue after death, what about theirs? Do animals vanish into nothing, or do they carry with them the spark of life that once looked back at us with devotion? And most of all, will we see them again? These are not idle questions. Anyone who has felt the weight of a loyal dog's head resting on their lap, or the purring warmth of a cat pressed to their chest, knows that this bond does not feel temporary. It feels eternal. Somewhere inside, we know it cannot simply end. Edgar Cayce, the American mystic often called the sleeping prophet, was asked this very question. His answers still stir the heart today. He said animals do have souls, though they are different from human souls. And in some cases, he said the bond is so strong that a pet can even return, finding its way back to the same person it once loved. If you have ever felt that a new puppy, a kitten, or even a horse carried something strangely familiar, as if it had lived with you before, you are not imagining it. Cayce believed such things happen. Stay with me, because in the next few moments we will uncover what really happens to animals after death, and why the love you shared with your pet may not be finished at all. And if this message speaks to you, remember to subscribe to this channel. Edgar Cayce often spoke about the hidden life of the soul, not only in humans, but in the creatures that walk beside us. When asked what becomes of an animal after death, he described something profound and almost poetic. He said that unlike humans, who carry a distinctly individual soul, animals are connected to what he called a group soul. Think of it this way. A human soul is like a single flame, unique and unrepeatable, carrying its memories and choices across lifetimes. But an animal soul is like a spark that belongs to a great fire. Each dog, each cat, each horse carries part of that larger flame. Their essence is shared, connected to the spirit of their kind. This is why animals often show such instinctive unity, living in herds, packs, and flocks. They are bound together by a collective consciousness, a shared spiritual essence. And yet Cayce revealed something extraordinary. Love has the power to shape and even individualize an animal's soul. When a pet bonds deeply with a human, when there is trust, loyalty, and devotion that goes beyond survival, that bond carves out a path for the animal soul to become more individual. It is as if love itself pulls the animal closer to the human journey, giving it a unique identity that can carry forward. This is why, according to Cayce, some animals return. He spoke of cases where a beloved dog or horse appeared again in a later time, drawn back to the same owner. Imagine the comfort in this. A child who once grew up with a gentle collie might, as an adult, find themselves drawn to a new puppy that acts strangely familiar. A horse that once carried a farmer through the fields might reappear in another lifetime, answering the call of loyalty once more. Cayce was even asked directly if pets ever reincarnate with their owners. His answer was simple: yes, when the bond of love is strong enough. He gave the example of a family who had lost a cherished dog. Later, another animal entered their lives, carrying the same mannerisms, the same loyalty, the same spark of presence. To Cayce, this was not coincidence. It was the return of a soul that had known them before. For those who have felt it, this explanation resonates deeply. Many people have said they recognized a pet in another animal, a cat with the same strange habit, curling up in the same spot. A dog who runs to greet them in a way that feels uncannily familiar. Science might call it projection or imagination, but Cayce would say it is the mystery of the soul at work. The group soul of animals does not prevent individuality. Instead, it is the starting place. When an animal is loved, truly loved, it begins to step forward from that collective essence, shaping a personality that is unique. In this way, animals who share life with humans are taking part in the great spiritual journey. They become more than just members of a species. They become companions of the heart, companions of the soul. And this was Cayce's great comfort to those who asked. When you grieve a pet, you are not grieving something that has vanished into nothingness. You are grieving a soul that has touched yours, a soul that may yet return, or may be waiting for you in realms unseen. The love you poured into that bond was not wasted. It was transformative, giving shape and individuality to a being that will carry it forward. So when you look back and remember the paw prints, the hoofbeats, or the sound of a gentle purr, remember what Cayce said. That essence lives on. That bond is real. And in ways that go beyond our understanding, love ensures that nothing truly beloved is ever lost. When we speak of bonds that endure beyond death, we usually think of people, family, friends, soulmates. But Edgar Cayce reminded us that the bond of love is not confined to the human heart alone. The love between a person and an animal carries a sacred power of its own. He explained that when we pour genuine love, care, and devotion into an animal, that energy doesn't vanish when the body does. It leaves an imprint on the soul of that creature. It is as if love writes its signature on eternity. That signature becomes a thread connecting you to them across time and space. Have you ever noticed how some animals seem to find you, rather than the other way around? A stray cat that chooses your doorstep, a puppy that runs past everyone else, straight to your arms. These are not always accidents. Cayce said such moments can be the stirring of old bonds resurfacing. The soul of that animal remembers, and in its own mysterious way, it returns to the place where it was once cherished. This idea transforms how we look at loss. Grief for a pet can feel as heavy as grief for a person. Their absence leaves the home quieter, the routines empty. But Cayce's words offer hope. The bond is not severed by death. Instead, it becomes part of the soul's journey forward. Some animals may wait for us in spiritual realms, while others may choose to walk by our side again in this world. Cayce even went so far as to say that when love is deep enough, the growth of the animal soul becomes linked with the growth of the human soul. In other words, you are not only shaping their destiny, they are shaping yours. The loyalty of a dog, the patience of a cat, the strength of a horse, these become lessons written into the story of your own spirit. And when that lesson is not finished, the bond finds a way to continue. Consider the countless stories people tell. A family loses a beloved dog, only to adopt another that behaves in eerily similar ways. A child prays to see their lost cat again, and soon a stray with the same eyes appears at their door. Skeptics might dismiss these as chance, but Cayce would call them echoes of the soul, proof that love itself guides reunion. This truth also explains why certain animals stand out in our memory while others fade into the background. A neighbor's pet might be kind, even friendly, but it doesn't touch you in the same way. Yet your own pet can feel like part of your very being. That difference, Cayce taught, is the difference between casual contact and soul connection. And when the connection is deep enough, it has the strength to endure death itself. So when you ask, "Will I see my pet again?" the answer is not a vague comfort. According to Cayce, it is a real possibility. The love you gave, the bond you shared, creates a path. Whether in this life or the next, love knows how to find its way home. This is why he encouraged people not to dismiss their grief as just for an animal. To Cayce, the grief was proof of something eternal. It was the soul remembering its companion, and the heart recognizing that love, once given, is never lost. Edgar Cayce spoke of animals in the afterlife in ways that changed how people thought about them. He described how the soul of an animal continues beyond death, not in the same way as a human, but still with purpose and meaning. Animals, he said, live in what he called the group soul. Unlike humans who have individual souls with free will and personal growth, animals share a collective essence. They move within a spiritual current that connects their kind. Yet this does not mean they are faceless or forgotten when they pass. When an animal has lived close to a human, when it has been loved and cared for, it takes on a spark of individuality. It is as if the flame of human love shapes the soul of that animal into something unique. Cayce taught that this spark could allow a pet to stay connected to the one who loved it. That is why so many people feel the presence of a pet long after it has gone. The scratching at the door that no one else hears. The pressure on the bed at night. The dream where the animal appears with shining eyes. These are not tricks of the mind. They are glimpses of a reality where the bond still exists. Cayce told stories of animals who crossed the boundary of death to return. There were cases where dogs or cats reincarnated to be with the same family again. A beloved horse that died reappeared in a new foal with the same nature and the same strange habits. These were not coincidences. They were the visible signs of the group soul bending itself toward reunion because of the power of love. This idea can sound mysterious, but it also feels familiar. Anyone who has ever lost a pet knows that the love does not fade. The body may be gone, but the connection lingers. Cayce explained that this connection becomes a bridge. If the bond is strong enough, the animal may wait in the afterlife to greet its companion, or it may return to Earth to continue the story side by side. The thought changes how we understand grief. Instead of a final goodbye, it becomes a pause in the journey. Instead of silence, it becomes anticipation. The soul of your pet has not vanished. It has simply shifted to a realm where time and distance work differently. This is why many people speak of feeling guided by their animals even after death. A cat that leads its owner to safety in a dream. A dog that seems to warn its old master of danger. Cayce believed these were not just symbols. They were acts of real souls, animals offering help from beyond, reminding us that love is stronger than the grave. So when you wonder where your pet has gone, remember this. They are not lost. They are not erased. They are part of a living soul stream. And if your bond was strong, their essence is forever tied to yours. Edgar Cayce said that animals are not here by accident. They are companions and teachers in the story of the soul. He explained that while humans are on a path of spiritual awakening, animals walk beside us to help us learn lessons of loyalty, kindness, patience, and unconditional love. They may not have the same individual soul journey that we do, but through their closeness with us, they move closer to it. When a person loves a pet deeply, when they treat it with care and respect, that bond lifts the animal's soul closer to individuation. It begins to step out of the group soul and shine with its own identity. This is why a cat can feel so unlike any other cat, or a dog can seem to mirror the very spirit of its human companion. Cayce said that this growth is not only for the animal but also for the human. Together, the two souls form a circle of learning. The human gains from the pure love of the animal, and the animal gains from the conscious love of the human. Cayce often described pets as helpers of the soul's lessons. A dog that teaches a lonely child to trust again. A horse that heals the wounds of a soldier's heart. A cat that comforts the grieving widow. These are not just sweet moments. They are sacred exchanges. Through them, the human learns compassion and humility, while the animal rises higher on its spiritual path. In this way, the journey of an animal's soul is not separate from ours. It is woven into our own. When we grow, they grow. When we love, they rise. This is why the connection feels so powerful. It is not just affection, it is spiritual work unfolding quietly in everyday life. Cayce also hinted at the possibility that some animals may evolve beyond the group soul, especially when the bond of love with humans is strong enough to shape individuality. In such rare cases, the animal soul takes on qualities that prepare it for a higher destiny in the great chain of spiritual evolution. Though he never said they become human, he did say they move closer toward the divine. This gives new meaning to the way we treat the animals in our lives. Every act of kindness and respect becomes part of their journey. Every shared moment becomes a stepping stone for both souls. So when you look into the eyes of a pet and feel a depth you cannot explain, it may be because you are witnessing the spark of something greater awakening within them. The soul of an animal is not simple and it is not small. It is vast in its own way, shaped by love, loyalty, and service. And through their journey, they remind us of our own. Edgar Cayce gave comfort to those who grieve their pets by reminding them that love does not end at death. He said the bond of love is eternal, and if that love is deep enough, reunion is not only possible, but certain. A pet that was truly part of your soul's journey does not vanish. Its essence lingers close, and in many cases it can return to you in another body or meet you again in the spiritual realms. Many people have described feeling their pet beside them in dreams, or catching a glimpse of them out of the corner of the eye. Some have heard the soft patter of familiar paws on the floor at night, or felt the warmth of a body that is no longer there. Cayce said these are not tricks of the mind. They are the signs of a living bond that cannot be broken. The pet's soul reaches across the veil to comfort the one they love. He also said that meditation and prayer can open the way to feel this connection more clearly. By holding your pet in your thoughts with gratitude and love, you create a bridge for the soul to draw near. You may sense them in a quiet moment, or you may see them in dreams as healthy and joyful, free from the pain of the physical world. These are gifts of healing both for you and for them. Cayce urged people to honor the memory of their pets in simple ways. Speaking their name with love, keeping a photo, planting a tree in their honor. These actions create a living memory that keeps the bond alive. The animal soul does not ask for monuments. It asks only to be remembered with love. In the end, Cayce's message was one of reassurance. The relationship you shared with your pet was not wasted. It was sacred. Every moment of joy and companionship, every moment of comfort and care, built a bond that continues beyond death. In time, you will see them again. Perhaps in this world, perhaps in the next. But the reunion is real. So if you have ever felt your pet's presence after death, if you have dreamed of them coming back to you, if you have caught yourself whispering their name into the silence, know that you are not imagining it. You are feeling the truth that Cayce saw so clearly. Love is stronger than death, and the souls of the animals who walked beside you are never far away.